We're going to be starting a series called Couples You Forgot About, where we go into a deep dive of celeb couples from the past and just do a brief history on things that you might have forgotten about them. Our first couple is none other than Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson. Now, these two are individually stars in their own right, but when they first got together in 2008, Scarlett Johansson was only 23 and Ryan Reynolds was 31. They were together from 2008 to 2011, but let's get into their full history. They were seemingly a very private couple, only seen by the paparazzi a few times and out in public at events a couple, and they seemed to really want to focus on their individual careers. Going back to the beginning when they started dating in 2007, briefly spotted together here and there, with rumors that they might be settling down pretty quickly, which makes sense for Ryan Reynolds, who was at the time 30 turning 31. But Scarlett Johansson was still fairly young at 22 years old when they met, and they were actually linked shortly after Ryan Reynolds ended his engagement to the singer Alanis Morissette. And they were actually engaged for many years, I think about 3. But they ended their engagement and Ryan quickly got together with Scarlett. Now keep in mind, this was in 2007, and then he was engaged to Scarlett Johansson in 2008. This was in May of 2008. But they were actually married by September of 2008. So not a long engagement, pretty quick, especially after his last relationship with Alanis Morissette. They stayed together in 2011 after the launch of Ryan Reynolds' movie Green Lantern, which is where he met his now wife, Blake Lively. This is where it may start to get messy. Head to part 2 because we're going to cover all of that there. Part 2 of celebrity couples you might have forgotten about, Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds edition. So we covered that Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds have been together for a couple of years after he had broken up his engagement with Alanis Morissette and after he had met Blake Lively in Green Lantern, who was his now wife. But what's tricky is Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson broke up in 2011, but he was filming the movie Green Lantern with Blake Lively in 2010. And what's even crazier is that while they broke up in 2011, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds actually got married in 2012. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively confirmed that they were just friends in this whole time and that nothing developed until after the filming of the movie and even after the release. They did end up getting married a year after his separation from Scarlett Johansson. It seems Scarlett Johansson doesn't regret marrying Ryan Reynolds. She told Cosmo that it was a very romantic thing to do and she doesn't regret it at all. Probably just blaming it on the fact that she was young and in love. She even said that that marriage was the best thing she ever did. It seems that Ryan Reynolds thinks the same of Scarlett, because he says leaving a relationship with the same idea of the person that you married is a great luxury. And he says thankfully he was in a relationship where they both remained the high road in every detail. There's no bad blood between the two. And Scarlett Johansson even opened up in 2016 by saying it's just difficult to marry another actor because there's constantly competition and different successes. So it can just be difficult all around if one person's winning and the other isn't, which could be hinting at what contributed to their separation. Ultimately, she said in an interview that she just wasn't ready for the ups and downs of marriage yet. And while Ryan Reynolds said after the divorce in 2011 that he didn't want to get married again, he ended up marrying Blake Lively in 2012. He's still married to this day. And Scarlett Johansson is actually with comedian and actor Colin Jost. They seem very happy together as well. That's a little bit about a couple you may have forgotten about. Let us know if there's another couple you want us to do in the comments.